Do you really know who you are? Why? Most people want to know this answer, but they search in the wrong places. They attend seminars, buy courses, and read books by the thousands, but all this is just scratching the surface. Real success comes from the inside out, not the outside in. Do you agree? Yes or no? Comment below. Let's get started. No one. The search for self. Look at the majority of people. They have absolutely no clue who they are. And so they go to seminar after seminar, event after event, trying to find the answer. But here's the harsh truth. To find who you truly are, look no further than right now. You already have the answer inside of you. Attend all the seminars in the world, but if your mind is not open, you won't grasp a single thing. So why is that? Most people only want advice. They don't want to take action. They want to hear someone else's opinion. But here's the key. If you don't like your results, you have to change you. Not your environment, not your job, not your family, not your friends. You have to change yourself. You must change your identity. But how do you do that? It all begins with your image of yourself, your self-concept. Do you see yourself as a winner or a loser? Do you see yourself as a coward or a hero? This is the starting point to changing your life forever. How many of you are ready to change your self-image? Put yes in the comments. No. 2. Conditioning. Now let's talk about a couple barriers that stop you from becoming who you want to be. First is conditioning. What's conditioning? Conditioning is programming. It's messages you've received throughout your childhood and maybe even earlier in your womb. Your parents, your teachers, your peers, they all play a part in your subconscious programming. For example, one conditioning message could be, I can't learn new things. Another one could be, learning is hard for me. Or maybe you heard, stop daydreaming, come back to reality. Maybe you heard, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're skinny. These are all messages that make up your subconscious mind. Messages you've accepted as truth. Now, most people act based on their programming. So when you become an adult, you still act like a child. You act like a little kid. You do what you were told to do. You act like the majority, are conditioned to follow, not to lead. Now, most people don't realize that they're following a program. They think they're free, but in reality, they are controlled. Controlled by their programming, controlled by their past, controlled by their ego. Now, most people continue their old patterns until something drastic happens. A wake-up call. Perhaps you lose your job, your relationship falls apart, or you get sick. Only then you begin to look for answers. What's the solution? In a moment I'll tell you, but first we need to talk about another barrier. Number 3, environment. Most people say, but my environment controls me. And yes, it does, if you let it. If you're a sheep, then yes, your environment will control you. But if you're a wolf, then you can pick and choose where you hunt. Here's the harsh truth. 95% of people never live the life they want. They never achieve their dreams. They never become who they want to be. Why? Because they act like everyone else. They act like their environment. They act like their peers. They act like their country. They act like their race. They act like their mom, dad, brother, sister. But here's the problem. If you copy 95% of people, you will end up with the same results as them. You will be stuck in the same rat race. Why? Because 95% of people have been conditioned to be poor, to be sick, to be unhappy. They've been conditioned to follow, so they act like their environment. Now, most people don't like this statistic, but here's the reality. 95% of people never live the life they want, and you can be part of the 5%. But how? You have to think differently than the average person. You have to act differently than everyone else. You have to be willing to go against the herd. You have to be willing to stand alone. Now, if you're able to do that, you can escape your environment and you can change your life. Now, if you're struggling in some area of your life, ask yourself this question. Am I acting like 1% of people or 95%? If you're part of the crowd, it's time to step out. Now, we talked about 2 barriers that keep most people from escaping their environment: conditioning and environment. Now let's talk about the 3rd barrier, which is their attitude. No, for the power of your mind, here's the truth. You are what you think. If you think you are a coward, then you will never be a hero. If you think you're ugly, you will never be beautiful. If you think you're broke, you will never become rich. Why? Because your mind creates your life. How many of you have heard of the author Maxwell Maltz? He wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. This book changed millions of lives. He said, your self-image determines your destiny. You see, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? You see a loser? Do you see a procrastinator? Do you see someone who is not good enough? That's your self-image. And what if you could reshape that image? What if you could see yourself as a winner? What if you could see yourself as successful? Then you would act like a winner. You would act like someone who is successful. So how do you change your self-image? First, you need to become aware of your self-image. Ask yourself, how do I see myself? Second, you have to visualize your ideal self. Imagine yourself already being successful. See yourself winning. See yourself being happy, healthy, and wealthy. See yourself living the life of your dreams. Visualize yourself doing this every day, several times a day. It doesn't matter if you feel like it or not. Just keep doing it. Keep visualizing yourself succeeding because your mind doesn't know the difference between real and fake. So when you visualize yourself achieving something, your mind begins to believe it's true. Once your mind believes it's true, you will begin to act accordingly. You will begin to take actions that align with your new self-image. Now, what's the third step? Write it down. Every day, write down the person you want to be. Read it out loud. Say it with conviction. Feel it in your heart. When you visualize your ideal self and write it down, you begin to reshape your self-image. Once you reshape your self-image, you will start to attract the right people, resources, and opportunities into your life. You will start to experience success in every area of your life. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your self-image. Visualize your ideal self every day and write it down. Now we need to talk about the law of polarity. This is a powerful principle. Everything is either male or female. Hot or cold, black or white, up or down, left or right. There is no middle ground. There is no such thing as neutral. Everything is either positive or negative. It's your choice. Which side are you on? Positive or negative? No. 5. The choice is yours. Here's the truth. You are what you think. If you think you are a coward, you will never be a hero. If you think you're ugly, you will never be beautiful. If you think you're broke, you will never become rich. Why? Because your mind creates your life. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your thoughts. You have to change your self-image. You have to condition your mind to be successful. Don't wait for a miracle to happen. Miracles don't happen. You are the miracle. You are the magic. You are the hero of your own story. It's time to wake up. It's time to take control of your life. It's time to become who you were meant to be. So what will it be? Will you be a winner or a loser? Will you be successful or a failure? The choice is yours. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It's one thing you'll change about your self-image. Also, check out this video here. You become what you think about. That was a quote by Napoleon Hill. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.